Well, time to get contentious. I'm not gonna be coy here, I'm just gonna state my thesis outright. A significant number of Pokemon fans are obsessed with the concept of difficulty. Now, the glorification of difficulty is an attitude present in many gaming communities, not just Pokemon. But since Pokemon is the gaming community I'm most intimately familiar with, I want to hone in on how it affects this community specifically, and how it shaped the way I interact with discourse surrounding the games. The earliest I can remember difficulty being a frequent part of Pokemon discourse was in Generation 6 when the EXP share was revamped, and game difficulty has been a persistent part of the conversation ever since. What I feel a lot of fans fail to realize is that Pokemon is a game series made for children to be able to beat. Young children at that. Obviously, once we reach adulthood, the games are gonna seem easier. A lot of the horror stories people recant about certain parts of older games being difficult can be chalked up to, we were dumb kids and this was likely one of our first Pokemon games. Here's a tough pill to swallow. Pokemon is only ever difficult when you're playing for the first or second time. Maybe a third time if it's been a while. For me, Ruby was my first game, Pearl was my second, Platinum was my third, and Soul Silver was my fourth. For years I had heard about how hard Whitney was to beat, and how I was shooting myself in the foot for picking Cyndaquil and not going in with a fighting type. And by the time I actually faced Whitney with 3 full Pokemon journeys under my belt, she was nowhere near the Goliath people made her out to be. There's a reason why Cyndaquil gets access to Smokescreen so early on. Whitney is only difficult to beat if you're the type of person that refuses to use status moves. And at that point, whose fault is that really? When I told people this at the tender age of 13, I was told, oh, that's just the remake, she was harder in the original version. So, believing this, I got my hands on the original version. And it was even easier. Yes, I struggled with the Sinnoh Elite Four because it was only my second Pokemon game. I didn't have a full grasp of type matchups yet, especially for dual types, and the leveling of wild Pokemon in certain sections of the game is abysmally scaled. As an adult, despite not having played Diamond and Pearl in years, I could still breeze through them pretty quickly. Well, as quickly as those games' shitty engine will let me. Ever since Gen 6, Pokemon started adding more features to make the games more accessible, and every time they do, there's the people that complain about the games being too easy. I remember when Gen 7 introduced the concept of telling you what moves will and will not be effective, and people were talking about how it removes the challenge, but number one, the game won't tell you what moves are effective against a Pokemon if it's your first time battling it. And number two, if you're the type of person that cares about difficulty in Pokemon, odds are you already know the type matchups and wouldn't need this feature anyway. Truly though. I feel the infatuation some Pokemon fans have with difficulty is exemplified most in fan-created content. Whether it's ROM hacks designed to make the existing games more difficult, the entire existence of the Nuzlocke challenge, or fan games that pride themselves on being brutally difficult. In the case of the latter, Sacred Almighty recently did a video discussing his grievances with Pokemon fan games, and it was one of my primary inspirations to make this video. I highly recommend that you watch Sacred's video in its entirety for yourself, but to paraphrase, Sacred chooses to hack rare candies in various fan games to keep his team on par because the games made grinding too tedious, even by Pokemon standards. He felt that a lot of fan games are too ambitious for their own good, and some have put so much emphasis on making the game hard that they forgot to make the game fun.
Unfortunately for a lot of people, a lot of these games are really slow. These games are slow as hell. I have a great computer, and even then some of these games are slow, right? These games are slow. I think what a lot of people don't understand is these games are like hard, right? Not only are they hard, they're very slow. And so grinding, the game being hard is one thing, but then having to grind up a mon due to like a certain boss, so like say for instance like in Pokemon Uranium. Pokemon Uranium has like the random, like if you know Pokemon Uranium, they give you like nothing but trash Pokemon in the beginning, and you have to find a way to use that. Meanwhile, your gym leaders are like crazy busted, right? And it's okay, how the hell do you want me to use this Gloom or this Oddish that's trash as hell for right now, and the level cap is like 10 levels above? I don't have time to sit here and grind. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. My thing is I don't have time to sit here and grind.
Personally, I can attest to this. I can't think of a single fan game I played past the first badge because they were just too tedious to level up, on top of some of them being as slow as Gen 4. Maybe it's just me, but I see these recent accessibility changes to be an opportunity to approach the games differently. Here's some food for thought. A lot of people didn't like that EXP was distributed across the entire party in Sword and Shield mandatorily. But between that and the fact that you can access your PC from almost anywhere in the game, and there's a whole wild area with a plethora of Pokemon to catch, and the existence of EXP candies, I think it's made abundantly clear that Sword and Shield were encouraging a style of gameplay different from how we usually played. One where we can catch more Pokemon and not have to worry about constantly keeping our team's levels up to par with each other. It encourages experimentation to see what Pokemon we'll really want to keep and invest our time in, and the punishment of investing time into a Pokemon that you ended up not liking all that much is significantly reduced. I know for a fact that this feature made the people who got duped into thinking that Thievul was gonna be a good Pokemon breathe a sigh of relief. I'm one of those people, but that's beside the point. But instead of thinking about this or daring to engage differently with the game, people just wrote this off as too easy. Now, for all of the grievances I have with this section of the community, a lot of these grievances would be alleviated if Game Freak bothered to put in customizable difficulty options in the games. Emphasis on customizable. Modern games have so many accessibility settings that allow players to tailor their experience to what's comfortable for them. Do you know how many Pokemon fans would eat up a game where you could do this? And I know this because the Universal Pokemon Randomizer exists for this very reason. Even half of the features in this program would be a welcome addition in Pokemon. Customizing options like EXP distribution, levels of wild and trainer Pokemon, how much money you win from battles, how many Pokemon gym leaders have on their team, increasing or decreasing the likelihood of hidden abilities, how much items will heal you, and other small details would not only be really welcoming for newcomers and tryhards alike, but will add a whole new layer of content for Pokemon content creators. So many different runs of the game would come about with these options built natively into them. As much as I would like the difficulty hounds to be more open-minded towards the fact that people value things other than difficulty in Pokemon games, options like these would at least allow us to play on opposite sides of the gym and do our own thing without bothering each other. Now, do I think Game Freak should do this? Yes. Do I think it's likely? No. Would I like to be proven wrong? Absolutely. And for the people in the back, yes, it is okay to want Pokemon to be more challenging. Yes, it is okay to enjoy playing ROM hacks, fan games, and doing Nuzlocks. Hell, I did one. My point is that a game's value isn't solely reliant on how challenging it is. I don't hate you. I don't even dislike you. You're just a little difficult. So what did you think? Swarm that comment section below or bug me on social media. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.